Hi everyone, I'm Red Hill Eagle and this is episode 10 of Learn to Play TEW 2020 with ECW. Today we're going to book Hardcore TV. It's the show before our pay-per-view. Just the one email to look at then. Monday, week 4 December, El Dandy hired by WCW on an exclusive written contract. And then the following couple of days, Wednesday, Bubba Ray Dudley bid ends. He has signed exclusive deal with WCW. Yeah, there it is. Bubba Ray hired by WCW. Sandman has been hired by WCW. And Al Snow has been hired by WCW. We've lost 4 people in 4 days. Or we're losing 4 people. They've signed contracts. It's Friday again. That means it's another Hardcore TV to book. Go for 2 on 2. We always do our tag team matches first. Now, we do obviously have a lot of people leaving us now, or I think it was at least 3 or 4, which is obviously disappointing. I'm not going to worry too much about that at the moment. Obviously, Shane Douglas will now be losing the title at the pay-per-view. I know we've got people like Al Snow leaving as well, but I'm not going to think to myself, oh, well, Al Snow needs to job on his way out now. Yes, that's how you would normally do it, but we don't really have anyone that we're looking to push at the moment. There's no one really for him to job to. So I'm just going to book a show like I would normally book a show. I think we'll have the hardcore chair swinging freaks in a match. I can't wait to rename them at some point. And they are babyface, so we want a couple of hills for them to overcome. Let's go for Ron Killings and Jason Knight. Yeah. Okay. Have this one as a short one. Yes, got to keep an eye on time. So that'll be 8 minutes in total, 6-minute match. We'll have Axel Rotten get the win. Script it, decisive. Now, I haven't actually played this save for about a week. It's been a week at least since I recorded the last episode and this episode. So, yeah, it might just be a little bit rusty in terms of remembering how long I've got. So that's 8 minutes used already. And what is it we need? We need 45 minutes wrestling time. Okay, we're just gonna have the one tag team match, weren't we? Now I think we're just gonna stick with that for each show. I'm gonna go with a ladder match in this episode, just to be different. I think we're gonna have Taz defend his title against Bubba Ray's leaving us, isn't he? Devon's staying, but Bubba Ray's going, so not that it'll make much difference. Another short one. Yeah, we've really got to be careful with how much time we... See, having a ladder match actually adds time on, because time for setting up the ladder. So instead of 2 minutes, it's 5 minutes. We'll still go with it, but Taz just gets a really quick victory. I'm not sure if that's realistic, the 5 minutes added, but it is what it is. We could change it, but we won't. Taz, open match, script, and he wins it. We won't have it as our opening match though. Let's go for another really quick match. Who else do we want? I mean, there really is no one that we're pushing. So, got to think about this. I mean, Kid Cash, yeah, Kid Cash we're pushing. Okay, we'll have him get a win against... Let's go for another jobber then. A face. Is there anyone we haven't used yet? Frank Murdoch, but he's a heel. Billy Fives I know we've used a few times. Oh, Bobby Blaze, he's a heel as well. That's annoying. Alright. Chris Chetty. I wouldn't be surprised if I've already done this one. No, I haven't. Okay, that's good. Right. So, we're going to go for... I was going to say 4. Yeah, 4. Kid Cash to get the win. Script it. Decisive win. Let's have this as our storytelling match. In saying that, I know I hesitated. I've got to have a wild brawl and something else as well, haven't I? So let's have that as our storytelling match. And that's also our opening match. I'm going to have this one as our wild brawl because it's only 5 minutes. So put that one down as wild brawl. So we do need one more. Okay, we'll have obviously another singles match. I mean, should I be looking at other people to push? I mean, these recognisable guys. I mean, Al Snow we were, but yes, he's leaving. Al Dandy's leaving. Let's take out the already booked. Tracy Smothers. We might even start looking at pushing him now. Get him out of the tag team division. Just because we're running out of guys. Well, not running out of guys, but you know, we need to just be wary of what we've got and putting some youngsters through. I mean, he's not young. He's not old either. Lance Storm I'd like to push, but he doesn't have much in the way of entertainment or anything. I have done a bit of reading about this mod actually, and there's a lot of people say that this mod, the stats aren't great. There aren't any sort of brilliant workers out there. Even people like The Rock aren't probably as high as they should be or as high as they are in other mods. So we've got to take that into account. It's disappointing and it will affect our ratings, but if there's nobody with decent microphone and charisma skills, then you kind of got to look at Lance Storm and think, well, let's push him for other reasons then. And he's pretty good in the ring, isn't he? So let's have Lance Storm take on Billy Fives. I will just double check that we haven't had this one. No, we haven't. Try and have this one as one of our. Could have this as a car crash. Yeah, don't often do that. As I've said before in other episodes, I don't usually use these kinds of products. Decisive win. We'll have that take place after the tag team match. I'm just wondering if we make Taz and Bubba Ray the main event, but it's only 5 minutes. I mean, to be fair, oh, that needs to be a bit shorter. I was going to say, to be fair, the main event won't be much longer, but if we make that a couple of minutes shorter, it'll at least give us a bit more time. Yeah. And we haven't used any major stars yet, so we, you know, really should be looking at using someone here. Most of our major stars are on written contracts now, or at least a good few of them. The Sandman. Was he one of the guys who was leaving? It's been such a long time since I played this save, I can't remember. Yeah, he's on a written deal, so he's staying. So let's have him get a win. Babyface up against a heel. Dave Taylor as our main event. Dave Taylor and the Sandman. Jerry Lynn we want to push. Let's go Dave Taylor. Pretty sure I haven't done this one before. Oh, I have. Week 1 is off. That was on our first TV show, so no, I won't have a rematch on that. Let's go. Pitbull 2. He's 30. He's someone we might look at pushing. Menacing's quite decent. Okay, let's go Pitbull 2. I know really he's sort of tag team division, but his tag team partner's out at the moment. So what have I got? 34, so that takes us to 44, 45, 46. We go a minute over. No, do you know what? I'm going to be strict with myself and just keep it at what it should be. The Sandman gets the win. Open match script. And yeah, decisive. I think they've all been decisive on this show. Okay, let's see how we get on with that one then. Our angles, we, as you know, go over to our storylines. Jerry Lynn, Chris Candido. Just going to put the usual in, really. I think I'm not going to do anything special. Let's have, yeah, who was our interviewer? It was someone like, yeah, Billy Graham. I've probably done this, and I should really start to track these sorts of things rather than not just matches. Matches are easy because you can just look, you know, previous matches between the two people, but angles. I've probably done Jerry Lynn be interviewed by Billy Graham. I may well have done Chris Candido be interviewed by Billy Graham, and I'm doing it again already. And I, just to mix it up a bit, I should track who's been interviewed by who, really, just so I don't repeat it every week. but I'll carry on the way I am for the moment. We would have Candido be interviewed because it's more likely we've already had Jerry Lynn. So Candido interviewed by Graham. Lynn interrupts and cuts promo. 4 minutes. 4 minutes for that one. Quite early on. What else have we got? RVD and Tommy Dreamer. Yeah, we'll have RVD or Rob Van Dam. Tommy Dreamer. I'm gonna have RVD failed backstage attack on Dreamer. So a little bit different. It's not an interview. So Rob Van Dam tries to get the better of Tommy Dreamer, but Tommy Dreamer counters it, and it's Rob Van Dam that he ends up probably running off or whatever. So we'll put Dreamer down as fighting because, yes, RVD starts the fight, but I think overall Tommy Dreamer gets the upper hand. It's a shame you can't have people rated on more than one thing, really, especially when you're doing long angles, because you can quite often, you can split it up. What a lot of people do is they'll split it up, so they'll have this angle would be over 2 or 3 segments. So you'd have Rob Van Dam walking backstage or something, sees Tommy Dreamer. Then the next angle would be Rob Van Dam attacking Tommy Dreamer, and then the next angle would be Tommy Dreamer, fighting off RVD and then cutting a promo. But I don't really like to do that. It's just probably a little bit lazy on my part, but 3 segments for one angle, well, so be it. In our imagination, this is what's happening. Another 4 minutes. So we've got 7 minutes left. Bam Bam Bigelow and Shane Douglas probably needs to be addressed. Let's have Shane Douglas promo. Bam Bam Bigelow fighting, and Douglas promo on Bigelow. Bigelow appears and beats down Douglas. Holds title belt aloft. Probably gets a big pop, but we won't put that. Once we become medium as well, if we become medium, I'm pretty sure we will eventually, then we can start having things like people taking stunt bumps when you can type things in there like, Bigelow puts Douglas through a table or something like that, and you can put, and it can give a boost to ratings, all that sort of thing. So we've got 3 minutes left. I'd like to deal with another storyline. Al Snow and Barry Horowitz. See, we're going to have to end that storyline. That's a good point, actually. Pre-booking at our pay-per-view, we're going to have to end that story now. Well, actually, we don't have to. We've still got Al Snow for a few weeks. 28 days, I think. So we can wait. We can wait to end that. I was sort of just in a bit of a panic then. We won't have him available for the next pay-per-view, so we will have to do it after tomorrow night's pay-per-view during the show within the next 3 weeks, really. I'm tempted to do it now just so I've remembered to do it. I'm just going to have to hope and pray that I don't forget. So what we'll do is we'll just use someone we haven't used yet, and yes, it's going to cost us a bit of money, but I think it's worth probably having Sabu in some kind of angle. Or having said that, who else was it we were looking to push that we didn't use? It wasn't New Jack. Was it? No, Jerry Lynn we used. No, it must have been. We must have used everyone that we would. Okay, right. I'm gonna have Sabu interviewed by Paul Heyman, and again, I'm sure I've done this already, but again, until we can sort of settle down with a more stable roster, I'm gonna do this sort of thing and just forget who's been interviewed by who, and so, and it's just a self promo on Sabu's part, really. Heyman interviews Sabu, self promo. 3 minutes to take us up to the 60. And that's before the main event. Let's see what we get. Kid Cash and Chris Chetty gets the 27. Yeah, a bit disappointing, but this is all about just Kid Cash getting some victories. Jerry Lynn, Chris Candido, and Billy Graham in the angle, 43. That's good. Jerry Lynn did not do well without a script to follow. Okay. But yeah, 43 is a decent score. The tag team match, Hardcore Chair Swinging Freaks versus Ron Killings and Jason Knight, a 40. That's pretty decent as well. Ron Killings and Jason Knight have absolutely zero chemistry as partners. Well, we're not planning on keeping hold of either of them for a long time anyway. Ron Killings would be nice, but he's only a freelancer. So we'll just have to. We'll be reminded if we ever team these two up again. It will remind us that they've got poor chemistry. I think, bearing in mind they're a jobber team, I'm not over fussed. But if I can avoid it, I won't do it. But 40, another decent score. Rob Van Dam and Tommy Dreamer, 58 in their little backstage altercation. 58 is very good. Billy Fives taking on Lance Storm, and that's a 45 ratings. We're getting some decent ratings here. Billy Fives did sustain a bruised eye socket. Oh dear. Well, let's hope that wasn't Lance Storm's fault. The great performance of Lance Storm really stood out. That's good. Yeah, no, it wasn't Lance Storm's fault, which is always good when it's not a botched move. 60 rating for Shane Douglas and Bam Bam Bigelow and their angle together. Another road agent penalty there, but if we're getting penalties and still getting scores of 60, I'm not complaining. Taz versus Bubba Ray Dudley, a 53. That's good. Two crazy matches in quick succession doesn't really work. They need to be staggered so the crowd can catch their breath. Okay, well, again, I've never used these sorts of things. I usually have a product where I just need a storytelling, so that's worth knowing. I'm learning too. That's good, but 53, another really good score. Taz makes defense number 1 of his television title. Paul Heyman interviewing Sabu. Sabu was terrible, no script to follow. Oh dear, okay. 41 though, reasonable. And the main event, Pitbull 2 and the Sandman, gets us a 58. This match got the crowd hotter, so they left on a high. That's always good. We've had some decent scores. And we finish up on a 53, increasing our popularity in 8 regions. And again, as a small company, that's all we want to see. This, the higher the better, yes, but that's what we want to see. As soon as we can hit medium, that's when things start to get a little bit more interesting. Because, as I say, you can put a few more people on written contracts, you can have more stable roster. You know you're not just going to lose. I mean, who knows? After this show, we could get another email. WCW have stolen 3 more people. Who knows? We don't know yet. Let's hope that's not the case. What I'm trying to say is, the higher you get, and medium really is the threshold for me. When you hit medium, that's when you can start to really sort of plan out a little bit more. I don't usually have a TV show until I hit medium. I'm only going with this because it was already in the mod. So, there we go. Testing. And as we come back to our office, we do have an email. The Sandman, Kid Cash just doesn't get it. A couple of people have said that now, haven't they? Okay, well, we're still going to go with it, and we'll just have to see what happens. It could just be a case of people not getting on with Kid Cash or not liking him. Lance Storm is turning into a good worker. The kid is worth getting behind. Okay. Pitbull 2 can't work the ECW style. I think we've seen that before as well. Alright, it's something to bear in mind. I'm not planning on releasing anybody at the moment because we're losing enough as it is. Viewing figures 11,579. That's not too shabby. And Billy Fives is injured. So I always like to see how long they're out for. I know he's a jobber, but that's not the point. 24 days, so we haven't really got him. He's working for it, but he'll get a penalty in any matches now. I don't know if he gets penalties for angles, but possible. I don't know quite how that works actually. But there we go. He's out for 24 days. And Pitbull 1 is back in 3 months and 2 weeks. I'm going to call that the end of episode 10. I was tempted to go through the pay-per-view as well, but I think that'll just take this episode over a little bit too long. It will probably mean that the next episode, which will be the pay-per-view, will be a lot shorter, but I might do a few little bits behind the scenes and everything. So hope you've enjoyed this one. Please join me again, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.